Hi, this is Charles with a video introduction to Memoir 44 and Overlord format. Memoir 44 is Overlord is two Memoir 44 board games joined together to make one big field, which makes the gameplay a lot more fun, especially in the multiplayer format. As you probably know, or hopefully you've played the game, you have three sections in Memoir 44. You've got your left, center, and your right. In the Overlord format, the two boards are joined together, creating a total of 6 sections, which are divided into 2 sections apiece. So these two over here are the left section, these two are the center, and these two are the right. So each of those fields is assigned a field general. So essentially, there's 3 field generals who run the field: left field general, center field general, and right field general, and a commander-in-chief who is in charge of distributing the cards to the players. So the commander-in-chief, he can play one of the roles as the field general if you don't have 4 players, or the commander-in-chief can run the whole game and run each position. So basically the commander-in-chief's role is to dish out cards as he sees fit to each field general. Where he sees problems on the battlefield or areas where he wants to advance, he can hand those cards to the field generals. How the field general executes those cards is up to each individual person. So we'll take a look at the cards here. So looking at the scenario notes in this particular game, you'll notice that you get 8 cards. And at the end of each turn, you only get to draw 2 back, but you can order 3 cards onto the game here. So, looking at the graphic on the top left, you can see that this one is for the left field general, this one's for the center field general, this one's for the right field general. So he can play this in either one of those 2 sections. The center guy can play this in either of the 2 sections, and then the left general can play this in either of the 2 sections, and then the commander-in-chief also has the option of playing a card himself. Remember that you can only draw 2 cards at the end of a turn, so it's very difficult. If you keep running out of cards, you're going to be running out of cards pretty soon if you play 3 cards each turn. One way you can avoid this is playing a recon card. Now, what a recon card does, typically in the Memoir 44 game, is lets you play 1 card and then draw 2. Now, in this particular situation, you can draw an extra card, and so if you play 3 cards, you can draw 3 cards if you play a order 1 in one section. So this can help you quite a bit. Another thing you can do is not play a card at all and do something called a field initiative. So what a field initiative means is this field general here has no orders, so he just rolls 1 die, and if he rolls an infantry unit, he gets to order an infantry. If he rolls an armor, he orders an armor. If he orders a star, he orders whatever he wants. If he hits a grenade, he has to reduce one of his units of his choice by 1, and if he hits a flag, he has to retreat one of his units by 1. So we'll do that. We got a grenade, so we'll take a hit off this guy right here. And that's his whole order. That's all he can do. If he got an infantry, he could order that unit and move him forward or do fire or whatever he wanted to with him. So for these 2 cards, they're usually face down, and each field general will perform his action one at a time, and the commander-in-chief can decide who wants to go first. We order 2 units, as the card says, in one section or the other, and the field general decides to put it on the left-hand side. He's going to order these 2 units. Do his move. This guy can't shoot anything, he's out of the way. He's going to go ahead and do his attack. He rolls 1 die. That's a miss. He's done. The guy in the center, he'll order 1. Can't shoot anything. That's the end of his turn. The right field general's done. And now we draw 2 cards back. So our hand started with 8. We played 2 cards. And we did the field commander's initiative on the right hand side. So we draw back up to 8. We draw 2 cards. If we played 3 cards, we would be down a card in our hand. As the game progresses, you'll find yourself, you'll want to play 3 cards more and more as the battles get more intense. and you're trying to do certain things, so it gets a little bit tougher. Now the Commander-in-Chief card always goes first. Again, it's representative by the guy on the top left-hand corner here. So his card goes before the Field General's cards. And some of the cards can be played in any Field General section. You can see it's 1, 2, or 3. And let me see if I can find one that's split here. Some can only be played in the left or right. So it can be played in, this can be played in any section, but only one in either section. So if you plan on playing this game, getting the cards is really nice because everything's self-explanatory once you look at the symbols on the top left of the card. So just talking quickly about a round, each side would draw 8 cards, and I think in this scenario the Americans go first. The Commander-in-Chief would assign the cards out if he decides to assign out 3 cards, or if he wants to do out 2 and do a Field Commander's Initiative. But in that situation he would do... so if he played out his 3 cards, he'd only get 2 at the end of the round unless he did the Field Commander's Initiative. The Commander-in-Chief would decide what order of which Field General he wants to go first. That Field General would flip over his card and apply it to either one of his 2 sections that he has. He would perform his order, movement, and fire just like in the normal game. And after he's done, he discards his card, and then it would go to the other Field General. That goes on until all of the cards have been played, and then you draw your cards back up, and then the opponent does their turn. Basically the same thing over and over again. Very simple format, very nice, just because the working together type aspect of the game makes it a lot of fun. I've played it probably 20 times this way, and it's always a good time. The hard part is setting it up. I don't know if you've seen the Memoir 44 battle maps, which are pre-printed terrain. You just unfold them laying out on the table, and probably about 70% of all the work is done for you. You just have to set the units up. Also, the Memoir 44 Overlord, I'm not even sure if they sell that anymore or not, had chits in it. So there's so many units in some of these scenarios that it requires extra units from other game expansions, and it came with chits. So you could basically play the whole game with just the chits if you wanted to, but it's nice to have the figures. Everybody likes looking at the figures and stuff, but I highly recommend the Overlord expansion with the chits and with the Overlord cards, and I think it comes with them extra dice too. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and happy gaming.